Hey y'all, welcome to the first video of shooting of a new series I'm calling the Full Day Challenge. In this video, I'll be taking a deeper look at a full day of using the phone, and I will be performing a minimum number of tasks plus whatever normal tasks I use throughout the day to see how far the battery gets me. And all these tasks will be performed with the Wi-Fi turned off just to make it as hard as possible on the phone. I will capture the screen on time as soon as I realize the battery reaches 20%, mainly because I think that's a good time to determine whether battery saver should be turned on or not, just to make it through the day. The first phone that's going to go through my full day challenge is going to be the Galaxy A54, and it's basically going to set the benchmark for the next phones. So let's get started. The phone was unplugged at 8 a.m., but it was a bit of a slow start for the day, so I didn't start any of my minimum tasks until maybe an hour later. So I'm spending the day with the A54, and usually when I test phones, I just run through my normal day-to-day process and base my findings on how the battery is or what the battery percentage is at the end of the day. The difference this time is that I actually have a bit of an outline of a minimum amount of tasks that I want to do the other day to kind of test the battery on what I would consider a fairly busy day. And so this is actually my first recording. I'm maybe 3 hours into the day, and let's see how it performs by the time I'm done. Shortly after the first video, I took a midday walk where I was able to take some photos and videos. There were a couple of notes about the camera that I noticed during my walk. The main sensor produced some pretty decent images and videos. However, when I switched to the ultra wide, it looked pretty weak. If I had to record a video with this phone, I would avoid using the ultra wide sensor as much as possible and just step back a bit and use the main sensor. When I got back from the walk, I worked a bit more on the minimum tasks. Alright, so now checking in around 5 o'clock here. The phone has been unplugged for about 9 hours, and I've had close to 4 hours of screen on time. At this point, the battery is at 50%, so in terms of efficiency, the phone is doing pretty great. Now I'm actually going to go out for a walk and take some more pictures. So I'm outdoors near a lot of traffic, a busy street, and I actually hadn't tested any of the noise cancellation or the recording on it. So I'm interested in finding out if how noisy this is. I'm sure it will be noisy considering how loud the traffic noise is, but just want to see how good it cuts it out, if it does at all. This walk included some lower light and nighttime photos, which obviously is going to make the phone struggle a bit more, but I think that the results are passable. Just don't expect the results to match anything of a flagship level. At 8:45, almost 13 hours later, the battery reached 20%. At this point, I had over 6 hours of phone use, likely even 7 hours. The reason I say that is because the screen on time read 5 hours and 41 minutes, but then I noticed that it didn't count Spotify. So if you add the over an hour of use with Spotify, that puts it close to the 7-hour mark. Just before I placed my phone down to charge overnight, the battery was at 11% and I added an extra hour of screen on time. This brought the total screen on time to 6 hours and 47 minutes, plus the 1 hour of Spotify, which brought the total use up to about 8 hours. And the total time off the charger was 15 hours. These seem like solid numbers and a good starting point for other phones to compare to. Finally, for my overall experience, throughout the day I did notice that lag that I mentioned in my initial review. I am able to fully ignore it on non-stressful days, but I know that eventually it will bother me on some days. I could definitely see myself using this phone for an extended period of time, but if I had the option to choose a different phone, I wouldn't hesitate to switch. I hope that Samsung can fix that lag on this phone, or at least on the next generation of these phones, because besides that lag, this is a pretty good phone, and once that lag is completely gone, I would say it's a pretty great mid-range phone. Thanks for watching. I hope you found the information in this video helpful, and don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe for more videos. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time.